You're welcome back. Of course, News Central has been giving you live and up-to-the-minute coverage of the ongoing Ondo State Governorship primary of the People's Democratic Party. And of course, the winner has a few minutes ago been declared. He is a former Deputy Governor of Ondo State in the first tenure of the late Rotimi Akeredolu Agbola Ajayi. Joining me right now is our correspondent, Neo Moni, who's been doing a yeoman's job right there at the venue. Nee, good evening to you. It's good to see. The venue has been deserted or has deserted, emptied quite quickly. I'm surprised. But please run us through today's activities. What was your observation from the pre-primary processes to when, voting got underway at 3:50 p.m. and all that? Just run us through what happened today.
So, Kofi, yes, as you said, I'll run you through the process. So we're on the same page. And the truth is, if I'm to speak based on facts, because that's what we're to speak based on, comparing the APC primary collation that happened there and the PDP primary that occurred here, the coordination is totally different. And let me just give you a view of what happened here. Just here, you can see how arranged this place is. It's so arranged and coordinated strategically to the extent that they don't want any mix-up. At various local governments, they had about 30 some local governments for the 3 delegates coming to vote. And I can tell you in less than 10 minutes, all of them cast their votes. Just the process is simple. Pick up your ballot paper, go to the booth, put it in the ballot box, and exit through these out exits here. It was pretty straightforward. And in 40 minutes, 619 delegates had voted. Then sorting began. And I think it's important to also acknowledge the coordination of the chairman, who is the chairman of the committee, who is the deputy governor of Bayelsa State, Lawrence, because he has been so orderly, calling to order, ensuring transparency, ensuring fairness. In fact, he made people stand in a position whereby everybody can see what is going on, making them go back again if the routine is not clear to the people who are watching. He has been evidently instrumental to the delivery of these particular primaries. But now let's come back to what happened. We had 7 aspirants, all aspirant, no one gave in, I'll put it that way, to another. All 7 of them sat here till the end of the process, and all 7 of them didn't give up. And the Honorable Agbola Ajayi pulling 264 votes out of 621 came up first, and followed by Otumba Bamidele Akinboye with 24 votes, Kolade Akinja with 157, which is the second highest, and Chief Shola Ebiseni 99 votes, while John Ola Mafo had 9 votes. Now, as we said, it's funny. Unfortunately, the state lost the former governor, His Excellency late Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, because both people will be competing now, contending against each other from the APC and the major opposition, the PDP, are both his deputies. So he was their principal. If he was alive to witness this, I'm sure some people will be wanting to have a stake or have who he feels will deliver better or who will rule the state better. But unfortunately, the state has lost him. And now we have the battle of the deputy. We won't rule out other parties because the AAC are going to have their primaries as well on Saturday, and of course we have the Labour Party and other parties that are there. But why this is important is because PDP is a strong opposition in this party, and they've been off the power seat for a while. And now this is an opportunity for them to gain momentum and of course fight back. Yes, both candidates now from the PDP, flag bearer, pardon me, from the PDP and the APC have occupied the same seat. They understand how things work. They were both deputy governor of the state. So it now comes to flow of how people see their actions or what people saw when they were in power. That is what we speak for them come the November 16 election.
Interesting, Nee. So you can run us through what happened today. From what you saw, were there any disagreements with the results? Did anyone, at least one person, try to say, hey, we don't agree with these results, so we want the ballot papers counted again. And because it seems so seamless, it seems so quick, voting starting in the afternoon around 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. and concluded by 5 p.m. and counting began. And within a couple of some hours, everything is done. So were there any dissenting voices at all?
Kofi, there can't be any dissenting views because the truth is the process has been as transparent as you can have it. I said the chairman committee ensured that every single thing was done properly. I mean properly. The fixing of the ballot. In fact, they had men man the polling booths, each one, to make sure that people were dispersed accordingly to places. They didn't let them communicate with each other. They didn't let them flip their ballot papers to show if this is it or not. And he was the deciding factor. The committee was the deciding factor to nullify a ballot paper if the person who printed did it wrongly or not. And there were only 2 cancellations for the ballot paper because there were 621 accredited voters, but 619 ballot papers were actually valid. And that is the process. It was seamless. So there was no. So let me break it down. The delegates voted and passed through this way. So as at the time everything was going on in here, they were not even allowed access into this place. Party members, party agents, agents to the aspirants, all 7 of them were placed strategically during the counting, during the sorting. And in fact, the chairman committee brought out the result sheets when it was still tamper-proof, removed the tamper-proof, showed them each party, each aspirant agent had to confirm that the result sheet was empty as at the time he was showing it to them. So there was no way to contend with anything if something was written on it, because the process itself was extremely transparent. And I think that is one of the things. In fact, let me just put this there. There were rumors on ground saying that, oh, the person who chaired over this committee could actually serve so good as the INEC commissioner come the major election we might have in Nigeria. That's how seamless the process was, Kofi.
All right, interesting. Nee, we'll let you go for now, but don't go too far because we might just come back to you. Correspondent right there at the venue of the Ondo State People's Democratic Party governorship primary, Nee Omoni. Thank you very much. I want to introduce our guests tonight. You saw the videos of the delegates sitting at the lobby or the foyer of the event center. That's the dome, which is where this, you can look at the screen, so the pictures on your screen. This is what Nee was talking about. That's the International Culture and Events Center, otherwise known as the Dome in Akure, the Ondo State capital. So he was saying that they had to sit out here. There was a demarcation. And when it's your turn to vote, you walk in, go, cast your vote for the aspirant of your choice, and then you go out. All right, there you go out. And I think we can describe that as an open secret ballot, if I'm not mistaken. I saw different polling booths there. So you just walk to the polling booth of your candidate, you thumbprint, or you choose, your candidate or your aspirant, and then you go out. Simple as that. And this is what democracy ought to be. I want to introduce our guests tonight. We have 2 joining us. Oluseyi Olujimi is the Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Ondo State Chapter. We're also joined by Olufemi Lawson, who is Executive Director of the Center for Public Accountability. Both join us via video link. Gentlemen, good evening to you, and thank you so very kindly for your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. What is your reaction? Let me start from the CPA man, Olufemi Lawson, the civil society person in the building. What's your view, your take on today's primary by the PDP in Ondo State?
Okay, it is very commendable that the PDP has conducted this primary in such a manner that is rancor-free, in just such a very seamless manner, to the extent that in a very short, hour, the party could organize itself, present its delegates, produce a candidate ahead of the November governorship election. And I think this is what democracy should be about. People should be able to choose their representative in a manner that is devoid of rancor, of chaos, and of course, any form of instability. So I want to commend the PDP leadership and the members of the party for the manner in which they have conducted themselves into this primary. And I think this is a good example for other political parties that are yet to conduct their primaries, that it should not be war. It should be as free as possible. And the delegates or the people, as the case may be, should be allowed to freely, without any rancor, choose their candidates or their representatives.
All right. Olusha, what was it that the People's Democratic Party did differently that has given them such a smooth process compared to what we saw with the APC in Ondo State?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me appreciate you for having me. It's not far from the fact that when you look at the name, looking at the acronym, PDP, meaning the People's Democratic Party, it's subject to empirical proof, like I will say. It's just a matter of people, leaving people to democratically elect those that will represent them. Simply speak that. It's as simple.
All right. We have a bit of an interruption with Olushaye's video connection. Are you there? Can you hear me, Olushaye?
I'm sorry. Hello?
Yes. Please continue, if you can hear me.
I can hear you. So like I was saying, it's just a matter of people trying to democratically elect who their gubernatorial candidates will be, subject to what I call People's Democratic Party. The people are democratically elect those, the flag bearer from November 16 election. And that is what the party is being known for. It's being known for a democracy without any rancor compared to that of the other party. So that is as simple as ABC.
Interesting. Olufemi Lawson, is Olushaye Olujimi able to say these things? Maybe because their party is not in power in Ondo State, and if they were in Ondo State, would have seen a different ball game. We know what happened in Edo State, where several of the aspirants at the party's primary there, headed to appeal, some to court. There were lots of dissenting voices, disagreements, and people saying that that election that produced Igodalo was not free and fair. So is it that probably we're seeing this smoothness in the PDP because they're not in power in Ondo State?
Part of the reasons responsible because the state actors may not have been able to influence what the decision of the party will be, unlike the other political parties that are in power. That nonetheless, you must also commend the fact that even when the APC had its primary, it was able to conduct even through a different means of primary, which is through a direct means, unlike the means chosen by the PDP, which is indirect means, to also elect a candidate. And of course, we may not know yet if people who have contested with today's winner of the PDP election will have to contest the outcome or not. Just like we also saw during last Saturday's governorship primaries of the APC, the governor, who coincidentally won as a candidate of the party, we had to wait for about some 24 hours before we saw his opponent coming out with statement, trying to challenge his victory. But the truth is that because of the number of people who participated in that primary, there was tendency for disagreement because it was not a process where delegates were coming to choose. It was a process where members of the party, across the world came out to choose. So you had more people, you had more logistic issues, you had more, challenges that will naturally occur during an election that has more people participating than an election where just a bit over 600 people participated. That nonetheless, you must also commend the fact that the APC was also able to organize its primary and of course produce a candidate just like the PDP has done today, and which of course we expect other political parties to also do.
Okay, let's go back to the PDP man, Olushaye Olujimi. Tell us a bit about the man who has been elected today as your party's flag bearer. As far as you're concerned, has the People's Democratic Party elected the best candidate to challenge the incumbent All Progressives Congress and probably even put APC out of Government House in Ondo State?
A correct one impression, and I say it without any fear of people. There is none of our 7 sphere that must have been chosen today that can't face the current governor of Ondo State? None. Out of the 7, they are competent because we have a legal practitioners, we have politicians of repute, we have business moguls who have been so successful in their various fields. So like I keep saying, there's none of them which also have been selected that can't fit into the job. I'm talking about the man Angola guy, whether we like it or not. This is a man that has been in the game for so long. He's a PDP man. We saw his contribution during the time he was in the ruling party, during the time he was the deputy governor to the late governor of Ondo State, in person of Akure, Akure. And we saw the way people were able to rally around him during his impeachment saga. The man still remained, I think, the only deputy governor that remains impeachable. He was able to galvanize his people, even though he was having the minority, because he was the only and the first deputy governor that will be in another party, you know, with the governor. And he was able to skate through. He's a man that knows his onions. He's a man that, subject to critical proof, has been able to climb some mountains. So with this, we have no fear whatsoever about him winning the current governor of Ondo State, in person of Lucky Ayi that you are. So I have no fear at all, because this is a man that has been tested, and you agree with me that he used to be trusted. So that's how it is.
All right, interesting. We'll come back to that, Olusegun Olujimi, and of course, Olufemi Lawson. Stay with us. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's still watching Politics HQ right here on News Central Television. I'm Kofi Bartels. Of course, we have with us Olusegun Olujimi, Secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State. The party has just a few minutes ago concluded its governorship primary. This is ahead of the governorship election in Ondo State. Of course, News Central Television has been streaming that or broadcasting that live on our channel. Also, we have Olufemi Lawson. He's the Executive Director of the Center for Public Accountability. Olufemi Lawson, talking about the pedigree of this this candidate of the People's Democratic Party, do you think his past will play a role in determining if, you know, he is the choice of the voters in Ondo State during the governorship election? He is the former deputy governor of Ondo State, but also he took on the might of the then governor of Ondo State, the late Rotimi Akeredolu, and his impeachment was quite a divisive one, with some members of the State House of Assembly even rising to his defense. I think I remember the then deputy speaker of State House of Assembly. He had some allegations, you know, placed on him that led to his impeachment. Like your counterpart on the program has said, do you think that this history will play a role in determining if he's a choice of the voters in Ondo State?
No, thank you. Ultimately, the eventual winner will be determined or be decided by the people of Ondo State who hold the haze in this case. But you must agree with me that it's not going to be two horse race. Of course, and this is not going to be the first time Honorable Agbalaja will be contesting as governor of Ondo State. He has tried this in 2020, where he flew the flag of the then Zenith Labour Party as the governorship candidate, while, of course, he was outgoing as the deputy governor of Ondo State to the late former governor Rotimi Akeredolu. But I think he would be contesting this election with a major challenger, who is the incumbent governor of the state, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Not only because Honorable Lucky Aiyedatiwa is the governor today, but is perhaps the most popular politician in Ondo State today. So it's going to be a very Herculean task for Honorable Agbalaja, despite his antecedent as an old politician, despite having had experience as a member of the National Assembly as chairman, and of course as a deputy governor. You know, he's not coming with this credential alone. The incumbent governor has been deputy governor, he has acted as governor, and today is a governor, and perhaps, like I said, he's the most popular politician in Ondo State today, based on circumstances that have led to his emergence as the incumbent governor of Ondo State. So it's going to be a very big task for any candidate, not only Honorable Agbola Ajayi, for any candidate to easily beat in the race for the next governorship election. That is the APC candidate, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. But like I said, the ultimate decider will be the people of Ondo State.
Let's go back to you, Olushe. Do you agree with what your counterpart has said, that right now, in terms of popularity, the incumbent governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, is probably living up to his name as being a lucky chap. He is the most popular and is ahead in this race, even before the first ballot or vote is cast.
Well, there is nothing to dispute about the first phase of what you have said, that as it is now, it happens to be the most popular based on the circumstances surrounding his emergence and maybe what has happened to the late governor and the emergence of the new governor, who's happened to be the former deputy governor. But with this, I don't think it has given him a kind of edge. I don't think it has given him a kind of edge, because I still wonder how what to mean about that. Because when you still look at the primary of the just concluded APC, you will agree with me that they are still wallowing, or they are still basking in what I call a kind of disagreement. And I still don't know what the end will be for them as it stands, because I know their house is not in order. But I'm not speaking as the lawyer for the APC. But what I know is this: I can say it confidently that there is no way anybody will disapprove of what we've seen in PDP today pertaining to the election the primary election we just concluded. This is the most cleanest, clearest, election I've seen in recent time. And thank God I overheard you when your anchorman at the scene was saying that the deputy governor of Bayelsa State, a person of His Excellency Lucky Lawrence
Erujakpo, yeah.
Yes, would be a commissioner or a good rep for the INEC, because the man was so careful in handling the process of what we've done so far, starting from the accreditation, starting from the voting, up to the sorting and the announcement. So looking at what we've said so far, fine, look at it that we are being deprived in the recent time due to circumstances surrounding his emergence as a governor, all well and good. But that's not giving him any hate. We should not forget the fact that His Excellency Agbola Ajayi was deputy governor of the state.
So are you saying that Governor Aiyedatiwa does not enjoy the advantage of popularity?
Well, either we like it or not, he is the incumbent governor, and there is no way he won't have some advantage to some extent, truth be told. And also that the ruling party, either we like it or not, there will be some disadvantages to that of the PDP in one way or the other. But that doesn't mean that the people of Ondo State, let me be quick to say this. When you look at the formation of people of the state, especially in Ondo State, we have one of the most enlightened people, in the country, just like the people of Ekiti State. We have the mind of our own. We are intellect, we know what we want, and don't be quick to forget that people are watching, they are watching. And the so-called governor, ever since his emergence in since December 27, he has been doing what I call politicking. He has not even started governors all this while. He has been trying to put his house in order by trying to secure the ticket for the gubernatorial seat from the APC. This is what they've done. And don't forget, we are not going to separate it from his former boss. We can see their track record. And that is nothing to be matched with that of the PDP. Are you talking about the times of Governor Mimiko? Of course. These are the existing things we are seeing in this state.
Okay, all right. Olushe Olujimi, I'll come back to you. Let me give Femi Lawson the take. So Femi Lawson, this advantage may not really be an advantage if you want to go by what Olushe Olujimi has said. What's your take?
It's an advantage, and it's not limited to Governor Aiyedatiwa's popularity. If you have followed activities since his emergence, I don't want to agree that he has been busy playing politics alone. If you look at a lot of issues that were pending, that were unaddressed, even while he was deputy, while his boss was absent, his late boss was absent, while he became the acting governor. A lot of issues that has to do with workers' welfare in Ondo State, citizens' welfare, public infrastructure. In the last over 100 days that he became the governor, he has taken deliberate steps at addressing some of these issues. And if you look at how he has been able to stabilize the polity from the point where he took over, where the state was almost heading towards a state of anarchy, you want to realize that a lot of things beyond his popularities are definitely going to be working for him, not only because he's the incumbent governor, not because he has a street popularity, street credibility, but also because he has also recommitted the APC administration in Ondo State to meeting the needs of our people. So these are the issues that have gone beyond his popularity on the streets or the love that the people of Ondo State are showing him all over the place as we speak.
Okay, what do you say to that, Olushe Olujimi?
Well, either we like it or not, I will say one thing, and like you saying, it don't feel or anything. We expect someone like that to quickly want to right the wrongs to some extent. Because one thing I know, and I will keep saying about Governor Kayega, he has enjoyed the sympathy of the people of Ondo State to some extent. And that's not far from the gang up of some of these aspirants, which I won't mention their name, in APC, who believe Lucky is not even mature enough to even claim the ticket. And you understand that even the illness of the late governor, it was even kept in the dark. So for someone who ought to have enjoyed a democratic or a constitutional elevation, due to the incapacitation of the governor.
All right, we seem to have lost Olushe Olujimi again. Olushe, are you there?
I'm sorry, I'm here.
Okay, please go.
So he was meant to enjoy some constitutional provision and quality.
Okay, Femi Lawson, if you can hear me, we'll allow Olushe to put his device back on. But as far as you're concerned, what are the differences between both candidates? We're talking about the PDP candidate and the APC candidate, who's the current governor of Ondo State. What kind of men are these two individuals, and what differentiates them?
They both have track records of having been in the public service, but of course, in the politics of Ondo State. Governor Idatiwa is known to have come from the private sector background, unlike Honorable Elijah, who has always been active, in the governance sector from a very young age. He has been chairman, he has been to the National Assembly, he has been deputy governor, he has contested election into the Senate, he has contested election even for the governorship in the past, and now it's contesting again. But I think what is going to distinguish the two, or what may be an advantage for the two, just like the digital secretary said, Ondo State is a state of people who are sophisticated politically. So it's not going to be by your resume alone, it will be by the virtue of your CV or your political antecedent that you are coming to parade, but also what you are coming to offer the people of Ondo State. Ondo State has been so unfortunate over the last couple of years, as far as leadership is concerned, based on the unfortunate, health condition of the former governor and the fact that a lot of vampires in government had, the state hostage, and governance development, was nowhere. So whoever is coming to govern Ondo State after this November election must understand that it's a big task, because Ondo State, as we speak, desires a radical approach to development. And the programs and policies of this candidate will be an added advantage to their popularity. So beyond popularity, beyond where they are coming from, beyond their antecedent, what they are bringing, what they are coming to offer the people from the state would really matter in this case.
Interesting. Olushe, if you're with us, what differentiates the two men, Idatiwa and, of course, Ajayi?
There's something you can beat with experience. You can't measure with experience. Whether you like it or not. Ayedatiwa has been in politics for so long. You know, he started as a local government chairman after he has been in either the seat of the 7th Assembly at the House of Representatives. And he has been chronologically elevated himself in politics up to the time he became the deputy governor. And if not because of circumstances beyond the control of human beings that made Dr. Ayedatiwa to become the governor, so behave at least. We have a span of almost about 6 to 7 months, 7 to 8 months to still enjoy a governor, being the governor. So I will agree with me that Agbola Ajayi understood what we call politics, starting from the grassroots to that of the federal constituency which he has done during his time at the National Assembly. And he has been a member of, he has been a deputy governor. And he is a man that knows how to manage people to some extent, you know. But this can be seen in the event during the time was being victimized by the late governor of the state. He was able to muzzle up the political space, and he was able to stay true to the head of the state. So this is what we call political maturity, you know. And though the other case for Ayedatiwa is because he has been victimized and he has enjoyed sympathy, no doubt about that. So you will see that the two have been able to operate on different terrain. So that's something you can compare to what I call political maturity, you know. And this will still play out during our campaign and during the election come November 16, 2024.
All right. So you're saying that what stands Ajayi puts him ahead of Ayedatiwa is his political maturity and the fact that he was able to, stand toe to toe with a former governor of Ondo State, Akure, when he was deputy governor and completed his tenure. And you think that what Ayedatiwa enjoys is probably just luck. You know, he's been lucky to get to that position, and he also enjoys sympathy. I want to take Olufemi Lawson's view on this. Do you think that, do you agree that Ajayi is more politically mature and adept and astute than Ayedatiwa?
Privileged to have been chairman of local government, have been to the House of Representatives, and becoming deputy governor, now contesting to be governor. The truth is that it is not the first time that Governor Ayedatiwa is occupying public position. He has represented Ondo State on the board of the NDDC. He has contested into the seat of his constituency for the House of Representatives in the past. He has been tested as a deputy governor. He has acted as governor of Ondo State on more than 2 occasions. And now he is the governor. So when you talk about experience and the ability to manage people, I think you must give it to Governor Ayedatiwa, who today is a governor. Honorable Agbola Ajayi has never been a governor. I'm not even sure there were times he acted, as a governor. So we cannot begin to compare political experience of a governor to somebody who because he was chairman, it's a wider responsibility. Being a governor is a bigger responsibility. It has to do with dealing with a vast majority of people, diverse, opinion, policies, and ideologies. So when you talk about experience today, Governor Ayedatiwa holds a higher, experience when you want to compare to his major challenger, the PDP candidate. Like I said, even the people of Ondo State will be the ultimate decider. But when you talk about experience, Governor Ayedatiwa is not a newbie in the politics of Ondo State because he has always, he may not have been chairman or been in the House of Representatives, but he has always been politically, involved in the Ondo State politics before he became the deputy governor. And since he became the deputy governor, he has practically been engaged with the people. And that is one of the things that have worked for him, that have, made him to occupy the position of the governor of Ondo State today. All right,
Oluchime, I'll give you a chance to just respond to that before we go for a quick break.
Well, there is no part. He's beaten to the blind, and they're able to just it. He is the governor of the state, and whether we like it or not, it's a little bit edge, whether we like it or not. But that will not take the fact that we have a public sympathy due to the prostration, or what the people during the time of his late boss have been doing to him. But I don't want to preempt, neither do I want to predict what will have happened to him. I didn't think he was in the shoes of Agbola Ajayi, and maybe we'll be able to, but like I said, it's my own opinion, and I don't want to preempt, but I'm just trying to say, one has been tested in that form, and he has been able to escape it, while the other one got through there through public sympathy and through natural occurrence, maybe a kind of death, which is beyond our reasonable control. It's an act of God. So you can't just compare the two. So that's just my own opinion compared to, on that particular matter. Agbola Ajayi is a very smart politician.
All right. We'll come back to look at the issues that are top of mind for voters in Ondo State as they go out to vote later this year. But for those of you watching us, stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So looking at the forthcoming Ondo State governorship election, bearing in mind today's activity where the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State successfully elected its flag bearer for that election. He is Agbola Ajayi, former deputy governor of Ondo State, the first term of the late Rotimi Akeredolu. Oluseyi Olujimi is still with us, Secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State, and we have Olufemi Lawson, Executive Director, Center for Public Accountability. Oluseyi, I hear they call you a digital secretary. That's quite interesting. But let me go back to Olufemi Lawson. Olufemi Lawson, what issues will be top of mind? What issues are of importance to the electorate in Ondo State that you think will determine who they vote for?
Fundamentally, you see, like I said, we have had some issues of leadership over the last couple of years because of the circumstances surrounding the health of the immediate past governor and, of course, its eventual demise. So that actually altered the process of development of Ondo State to the extent that, Ondo State, if you look at what Ondo State used to be in the days of Dr. Olusegun Mimiko as governor, Ondo State was practically, like a construction yard almost every day. We were top in healthcare delivery in Nigeria. We had the best mother and child hospital in the country. We had, our education was rated. We had functional state universities. But, the last couple of months, witnessed a situation where practically public infrastructures, development went on holiday. People's welfare went on holiday. Healthcare became a thing of the past. In actual fact, in education, we were having industrial actions all across our tertiary institutions. So these are some of the issues that the last 100 days or thereabout of Governor Adedatua has been addressing, upon assumption of office as governor, return, other contractors back to some of the various project sites going on in the state. Of course, we have seen how he has been able to address series of industrial, disputes across our tertiary institutions. We are beginning to see how citizens and government are beginning to engage in a way that we have not had over the past couple of years. So moving forward, the next governor of Ondo State, or whoever wins the next election, governorship election, must understand that we must return Ondo State back to the path of infrastructural development. As we speak today, a lot of roads in our states are impassable. Like I said, our medical facilities are just beginning to receive life just in the last couple of months. We must go back to that part where Ondo State was a leading state in mother and child care delivery, in education, and of course in infrastructural development. So these are the issues that are of importance to our people. Our people want to see our institutions, our schools back. They also see our children enjoy free school shuttle like we have had. Thank God the governor is, I think he has returned that only a few days ago. I watched visuals of school children who are now being ferried across the state in government-provided buses. The issue of healthcare is very important. Because it's only elderly citizens that you can even talk of empowering or developing infrastructures for. Healthcare must be a priority again in Ondo State, like we had for that straight 8 years of Dr. Mimiko. And of course, infrastructure. There's a lot of deficiency in infrastructure. These fundamental issues are not negotiable for us as the people of Ondo State. And it must be the priority of any governor coming to govern after 2024.
Olusegun, what's your take? What issues do you think will be top of mind for the electorate in Ondo State?
I think I want to appreciate my the other gentleman on the other side. And would you not go for a party that knows the running aspirations of individuals? I could remember more than a child then. He has said it all. We used to have one of the best health systems then in Ondo State. I could remember the time I gave that to my two kids. I had the opportunity of giving that to them as well, but I took a decision to do that just because of how lovely, how safe, and how sound breast care is. But if that is not the case, I think I love the way he was able to say that there has been a return on the road about the school buses. Because during the last, the first time of Akure and towards the end of his demise, with respect to the death, we realized that the situation in the state is not to write home about. You know, and thank God he said something that I so much like again, that the construction or the development we used to have in Ondo State has gone on holiday. And we just say it has gone on sabbatical. And don't be surprised that anytime from 30, no matter what we even do in this short space, the party that have the yearnings and aspirations of individual is the one that is about to come to power now. And that's the People's Democratic Party. We have been tested before, and we have to be trusted. During that time, we had the best infrastructure. During that time, the state was being noted for the best and the most brilliant, and we got so many awards from the UN. This is not just by a mistake. It's when you have a party with structure. It's when you have a party that understands what we call a political game. When we understand the party that can put a round peg in a round hole. This is not just a party full of. Well, I want to be modest in whatever I say, but PDP is a party to beat. And people are listening and they're even watching, even though it's not a campaign time. But I want to believe that the sun will definitely shine again.
All right. Thank you, Olusegun. Just finally, before we go, Olufemi Lawson, do you expect other parties, maybe even the third party, besides the APC and PDP, to have a significant impact on the forthcoming election? I know the Labour Party is strong in Ondo State, Zenith Labour Party, AAC, and so on and so forth.
There, of course, other political parties will definitely put up their own side of the show in this way. So I think it's important that I make a bit of correction. The administration of Dr. Mimiko was not a PDP administration, it was a Labour Party administration. It was only, during its transition period that Dr. Mimiko, went on a sabbatical in the PDP. Most of the things, that administration achieved were achieved while Dr. Mimiko was governor under the Labour Party. And I think that is important that...
Olusegun, do you agree with him?
It was not a PDP administration. And like I said, other political parties will also put up a show. Labour Party, the Zenith Labour Party is fielding the younger brother of the former governor, the same Dr. Olusegun Mimiko. So it's not possible that such parties are also going to pull a lot of support during the election, but we try to understand that this is going to be a major battle between Governor Loki Aiyedatiwa of the APC and Honorable Agboola Ajayi of the PDP.
All right. So there's no third force, no possibility of Labour Party sweeping these two aside. So, well, we'll keep our eyes on that. I know that Olusegun would like to respond to what you're saying, but we're out of time, gentlemen. I want to thank you very much for your time. And Olusegun, congratulations to you. Your party now has a candidate. Olusegun, Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, and of course, Olufemi Lawson, Executive Director of the Center for Public Accountability. That's the size of our package tonight right here on Politics HQ. We'll return tomorrow with more on the latest conversations on issues in Nigerian politics. My name is Kofi Bartels. Good night.